Hello, America. It's been a long time since I donned the old secret identity, but trust me, it's me, Homelander. Now look, there's been a little drama around Vought of late, but I want to reassure you here and now, superheroes are still the good guys.
We're not perfect. I mean, I ran through a girl, but only because she stepped off the curb and into the middle of the street like a crazy person. But we all make mistakes. And that's why pencils have erasers, right?
I want to go ahead and apologize for A-Train's comments. But the point is, being a superhero is about saving lives, being an inspiration, and
rescuing the dolphins.
You won't leave it alone.
Actually, what I was going to say was that...
Okay, are we going? Okay. Hey, so did A-Train just say that killing Robin is why pencils have erasers? Yeah, that's pretty f***ed up.
Sorry for the interruption.
Okay, I wasn't finished.
The thing we need to focus on is making America safe again. And the only way to do that is more superheroes.
Oh, hi there. As a member of the Church of the Collective, I can assure you there's a larger plan for all of us. And if you enroll in our church classes for the low price of $1,700 each, we'll tell you what that plan is. But the point is, there's absolutely nothing to fear.
We got photos of that dude with a manatee, but you're gonna listen to him?
There is a new wave of soup terrorists, and we are the only ones who can stop them.
That's why, going back to my previous point, superheroes are about...
murder. If you look at them wrong, they will kill you.
Well, what he's trying to say is that soups are bad, okay? I mean, except for one of them.
All right, okay, look, there's nothing to be afraid of. I mean, we're not that different from you.
At the end of the day, we are tax-paying, gas-pumping American citizens just like you.
Okay, let's not get carried away because people, they want someone who's stronger and generally better than them in every single conceivable way. After all, who else is going to save you? But don't take it from me. Take it from this guy.
Hello, America. As the original superhero, I assure you that you are in safe hands with us. I'm Soldier Boy, and I approve this message.
God bless you, Soldier Boy.
Translucent. Blew him up in the ass, man. I'm gonna go.
Fuck them all.
Welcome back, everyone. This is going to be The Boys Season 2 teaser video, as well as a breakdown of Herogasm. They just announced there's a bunch of big stuff happening during Season 3, so I'll explain what's going on with Jensen Ackles and some of the storylines that they've already talked about. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. I will be doing videos for all the Season 3 episodes, just like Season 2, and obviously it's only going to get more and more WTF as the series goes on. And the good news is, they did say that they have several more seasons in them, so it's not like they're going to be ending the show anytime soon. I'll explain the funnier Herogasm stuff they were posting about more recently. The writers, the showrunner, were just talking more and more about how they're going to do that version of the comic book storyline for TV. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit different because it's so over-the-top crazy. The whole thing the showrunner was posting about recently, though, was the completion of Episode 6, which is titled Herogasm. So that's when they're going to be doing that actual story. The way the showrunner actually explained their version of Herogasm is that he said that the minute that he announced that he was doing the TV show, everybody, even his friends inside Hollywood, his other showrunner friends, were challenging him, daring him to do the Herogasm. You'll never be able to do this. So this is him just celebrating the fact that he accepted that challenge and completed it. If you've never read the Boys comic book, Herogasm is basically like the worst possible version of Spring Break that you could imagine, but just for superheroes, Compound V superheroes. It's like this giant week-long event where they all go, they're all just doing it with each other indiscriminately, just doing drugs all over the place. I guess depending on how you think about it, it could be the best version or the worst nightmare version of Spring Break. No judgment there, everybody loves to have fun during Spring Break at some point. But the storyline coincides with a lot of what they're doing with the other storylines during Season 3 in the comic book plot that they're adapting. Because now we're sort of moving into the superheroes in the government storyline from the comics, which is a little bit later in the comic book run. But also as part of the Herogasm storyline, you have the Soldier Boy storyline, and obviously Jensen Ackles is going to be their version of Soldier Boy during season 3. The whole connection, the reason why Jensen Ackles is coming to The Boys is because the showrunner, Eric Kripke, was also the creator of Supernatural. So that's why you've seen a lot of Supernatural actors show up on The Boys in previous seasons, like you have Jim Beaver's Bobby Singer character. I think his name is actually Bobby Singer on the TV show, which was his name on the Supernatural TV show. All they gotta do now is get Jared Padalecki at some point, even though he's off doing that other new show, post-Supernatural. There's also a bunch of Timeless actors on the TV show too, because Eric Kripke also created the Timeless TV show, like Victoria Newman, I think was on Timeless. I'll talk about her in a second too, because she's obviously a really big character during season 3. Then you also had the Alistair character, who's a bit of an antagonist. Press F in the chat to pay respects to him. But the whole thing with Soldier Boy is they are changing his character from the comics. What they're doing is they're using him as a more legit, straight-up version of their Captain America. In the comics, there are 2 different versions of Soldier Boy. There's the original version, who was created as a Compound V superhero during World War II. He was America's first attempt at creating their own superhero. He wound up being terrible at his job. He got a bunch of his squad mates killed. He actually fought with Mallory, who in the comics is a much older version of the character, and winds up killing the original Soldier Boy as retaliation for getting his squad killed through his incompetence. Later in the present day of the comics, there's a Soldier Boy 2 who just wears the mantle of Soldier Boy, but he's a completely different character. He winds up working with the Payback team. Episode 1 of The Boys Season 3 is confirmed to be Payback, so they're obviously doing the Payback team. The Payback team in the comics is a direct reference to Marvel's Avengers team, but what they're doing on the TV show with Jensen Ackles' version of the character is they're sort of combining the original Soldier Boy and the newer Soldier Boy, and he's going to be more like an asshole version of Captain America. And the reason why Stan Edgar is bringing this original Soldier Boy back, the Jensen Ackles version, is a sort of response to the big regime change in the changing sentiment about superheroes, is a direct response to how pissed off they are about what happened with Stormfront. You notice the way they spin things in that conference at the end of the season? They all kind of turn on Stormfront like, we had no idea what she was doing this whole time. This was all her fault. How dare she try to pull this over on us? When really Stan Edgar knew exactly what was happening the entire time. So swinging to the opposite end of the spectrum, he's bringing back the most fan-favorite, patriotic-seeming superhero of all time. The only superhero that Vought has that was as popular as Homelander is right now. But just to be clear, Homelander is still the strongest superhero on the planet. But the thing is that they're all kind of keeping each other in check because now everyone has all this evidence against Homelander they'll release, and they know that Homelander, who's gone completely off the deep end at this point, jerking off on top of the Chrysler building, is like one step away from lasering all of them. So there's sort of this Cold War situation now that's happening between the Boys, Vought, with Stan Edgar, Homelander, and now Queen Maeve and Starlight, which are back on the Seven to keep an eye on Vought from inside the belly of the beast. The whole thing with Victoria Newman, though, is that she's sort of a version of the comic book Vic the Veep character who was a former CEO of Vought, and it sounds like this might be part of their superheroes in the government storyline. The whole thing that Vought wants, Stan Edgar wants, is to get superheroes in the White House because that's how they influence real policy, that's how they gain real power. So that might be part of the reason why Victoria Newman wound up killing Alistair at the end of season 2, because he had all this dirt on Vought he was ready to release, like, all right, let's do this, let's take them down. Why would she stop that if she weren't trying to keep Vought in power themselves? Early theory, the reason why she wants to keep Vought in power is because she's also working with Stan Edgar, and she wants to keep them around creating new superheroes because it'll give her new agency, the one that regulates superheroes, more opportunities for wins, thus advancing her political career, getting her closer to the White House eventually. She's also got one of those Homelander itchy trigger fingers with her powers where he loves to laser people on the spot as many chances as he can get. She loves to pop people's heads as many chances as she gets. I know everybody's wondering what happened to Cindy at the end of the season because we last see her getting in a car just driving off into the distance. So Cindy is still in play. The way the writers and the showrunner explain that is that it's just sort of a bomb that they set off in the wild to see if it goes off later. So they said that they might bring Cindy back in a future season, but they didn't confirm that that would be during season 3. They also confirmed that Stormfront is definitely not dead. She's getting the Anakin Skywalker, crispy chicken, Darth Vader treatment. It's exactly what Homelander said during that last press conference. She is being kept in a secure facility, and Vought is going to have some creative punishment for her because she is regenerating, but she's not growing her limbs back. You'd be surprised though what they can do with Compound V. They can actually bring superheroes back from the dead with Compound V legit. Ryan is also now under the care of the newly rebuilt government-approved version of The Boys. Mallory has now been empowered in a way with more funding than she ever was before, so she's actually able to legit help Butcher and the boys in a way that they couldn't do before. They'll just continue developing his powers, him learning about how to use them, because currently, even Stan Edgar acknowledges this with Butcher in their conversation. Ryan is the only deterrent that they have for Homelander, the only superhero potentially powerful enough to take him down. The way that child actors age up pretty quickly, I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the series, their endgame is a very Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker standoff moment with Homelander and his son. Because by the end of the series, maybe season 5, season 6, or whatever they wind up going to, Ryan will look like a teenager big enough to actually challenge Homelander. But everyone post all your theories about Season 3 in the comments below. Obviously, it's going to be off the chain. They didn't say exactly when it's going to premiere, but they're going to be filming really soon, so hopefully they can speed through episodes and get them out by the end of this year. My new Marvel WandaVision Episode 3 video will post on Friday. That's obviously the big show that's on right now. You can click here for all my Boys Season 2 episodes, and you can click here for my WandaVision Episode 1 and Episode 2 video. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.